One of the biggest make or break moments at Super was securing investment approval from the board for investment in Tjoanda Beauty. While it is aligned with our profitability objectives, it was definitely something new for us. It is a substantial investment, and it is also on us to ensure a favorable return on investment from this venture, right?
Ultimately, securing a deal with major brand will help us to establish credibility in the market. I believe that this might sound simple, but this is actually one of the most challenging, or I can say the make or break moment that I can share.
Hi, folks. Welcome back to On Call with Insignia, where we go on call with leaders innovating the future of Southeast Asia's internet and digital economy, or as we like to call it, Asset Innovation. I'm your host, Paolo Pino, and we're back with part 2 of our conversation with Nadira Zahiruddin and Gisella Tjoanda, VP of Innovation and VP of Business Development, respectively, at Super, the leading social commerce platform in Indonesia, really innovating the future of, I think, retail in Indonesia, especially tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 cities that have been traditionally, quote unquote, left out by the e-commerce boom, and they're really trying to expand access, equitable access to a lot of various different types of goods across these markets in Indonesia. So for this part of our conversation, previously we talked about Super's business, how it's developed and evolved over the last year, portfolio of brands, different approaches you guys take to developing and growing brands. And I highly recommend for those who are hearing about Super for the first time to actually check out that conversation before heading on here, part 2. But for part 2, wanted to focus a little bit more on you guys as leaders. You've been with Super for, I think, 2-3 years, roughly around that time period thus far. So I wanted for you guys to kick off this part 2 by sharing how Super has really shaped you both as leaders. What have been the biggest opportunities that you would have not otherwise been able to access if not for your work at Super?
Super operates in a very dynamic environment where innovation and agility are essential for success. And as a leader, I've learned to embrace change, foster a culture of experimentation, and adapt quickly to evolving circumstances, especially building the innovation team and that new revenue stream for Super, where we are also responsible for Super's next phase of growth. This mindset has really sharpened my ability to navigate uncertainty and lead with confidence in fast-paced environments, where I really think that opportunity has been very unique, and I don't think I would have gotten this anywhere else.
Yeah, I remember what you shared last time about it really being a fast-paced environment, and how that really
yeah,
came
exactly.
through.
Since day one up till now, almost 2 years later, still the same.
Gisella?
Super has this mission to empower rural communities, right? This mission that Super carry actually has instilled me with a deep sense of purpose and commitment to making a positive impact. As a leader, I've been inspired to align our goals and strategies with our mission and to prioritize impact over short-term goals and lead with integrity and empathy. And I believe that this is an opportunity that I definitely wouldn't have gotten somewhere else.
I wanted also to, and speaking of opportunities, I also wanted to talk about, I think specifically Nadira's trip to Riyadh recently for Leap 2024, which I thought was interesting given the work that Super is doing. Yeah, what was the interest behind visiting Leap 2024, and what have been the takeaways for you and for Super from that trip?
Yeah, it was my first time in Saudi Arabia, but we haven't met with many investors in the Middle East region. And the idea of going to Leap was to start building the relations with them and learn what's going on the other side of the world. But it was really astonishing to me to see the progression of Saudi Arabia as an outsider looking in. They have huge investment money, especially in industries such as deep technology and clean industries. For Super specifically, our key takeaway was that we learned that there is an opportunity to partner with them to exclusively import products from there to Indonesia and also vice versa. We see noticeable similarities in culture and taste, and not to mention, we're also the largest halal consumer market in the world. So I think there's definitely an opportunity for us to work together with Saudi Arabia, but we are still in the process of discovery and exploring how best we can approach this.
I think it's definitely, there's a lot of synergies that we've been seeing, potential synergies for Southeast Asia companies and the Middle East, not just in commerce, but also fintech as well. Yeah, I'm looking forward to any news about that in the future. In the meantime, I wanted to get into our make or break corner, which is my favorite recent corner that I've set up here in the show. Since you joined Super, for each of you, what has been the biggest make or break moment of your journey so far that you can share with us?
One of the biggest make or break moments at Super was securing investment approval from the board for investment in Tjoanda Beauty. While it is aligned with our profitability objectives, it was definitely something new for us. It is a substantial investment, and it is also on us to ensure a favorable return on investment from this venture, right? Yeah, but the growth witnessed by Tratu over the past year, as we mentioned, Tratu has grown like 2 to 3x over the year. That's a testament to our faith in the company's potential.
From my side, actually, I think one make or break moment that I can share is when we're securing partnership with a major brand. Negotiating and finalizing the agreement is not easy, as you probably know, and it actually poses a considerable challenge as we face competition from other established distributors that also vying for the same partnership, as well as how we can meet the brand's strict requirements and ensuring that our supply chain can support the demand for these products from the top brands. And here at Super, we're working to address this challenge by streamlining our logistic process, and we're also providing exceptional support to ensure a seamless partnership. Because ultimately, securing a deal with major brand will help us to establish credibility in the market. I believe that this might sound simple, but this is actually one of the most challenging, or I can say the make or break moment that I can share.
And that's not just for one brand, I guess. Like you've done that for a couple
Yeah,
of a couple of deals. So
correct. Yeah.
moments really. I had a follow-up question for each of you. I think for Nadira for the beauty brand, I think really congratulations on that. And I think ever since we started talking about cosmetics last year, and you guys were in the research, like really scouting phase for opportunities in that space. I've been really looking forward to Super actually including a beauty brand, skincare brand, or personal care brand in their portfolio. And I was curious to know what is something that you've learned from yourself trying to grow a brand in that particular space, or is there anything that you took from working with brands like in FMCG to really help this brand grow?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things that I've learned is really like to grow the market share of each brand, and it's quite a different game for each product category, whether it's our F&B or FMCG, and then this health and beauty, which is also another thing, another category that is very new to us. But I think yeah, it's identifying the demand creation that really works for each of these product categories that I would say was something that we learned at Super, because for FMCG, for example, and growing in the market that we are in, it's like a lot of the demand creation involves a lot of not just building and also the digital awareness, but also a lot of like offline activations, a lot of going into like offline community gatherings, and then going into different wholesalers or supermarkets, for example, to basically take our products and just really identifying which channels work best. And then for health and beauty on the other side, we do also have to spend a lot of our time in terms of demand creation. But health and beauty also has, like, I would say, different channels that we can grow in, right? I think, like we mentioned, with the rise of TikTok and social media, it can really grow like online. I've seen this, like their growth in TikTok shop has also been really good, but also we're trying to tap and grow the offline channel for our skincare.
Right.
Yeah, really just identifying like where your consumers are at and growing the market share for each category.
Yeah, I think really, I guess trying to learn more about these channels that are specific to that category, I think must have been
Yes.
really part of the learning curve. Gisella, for you, I think in terms of winning over these brands to strike these exclusivity deals, I was curious to know how did that impact or I guess develop your own sort of negotiating skills as leading this effort for Super? Like what is something that you really pitch to these brands to win them over? And what is something about Super that you try to sell to them to make sure that they partner with you guys?
So in terms of securing exclusivity deals with brands, when we're pitching to them, first we need to make sure that we explain to them what Super is, what Super actually does, and how we actually sell our business to them is that by showing them that we have a pretty big volume and tractions that are pretty good for them, that they're actually interested to join us as a exclusive partner. We really ensure that we show them that we have many areas covered in different cities across East Java, and then we also shows them that we have agents that can really sell their products. We have agents that are product focused and actually distributing their products. And we also make sure to them that we have this exceptional support that we can meet all of their requirements and all of their needs in terms of partnering with us. So we make sure from two sides. First, we make sure that we can actually distribute their products, and we can actually help them to reach more customers in the areas that probably they are not in yet. And also, secondly, we make sure that in terms of our partnership with them, we can provide them, like, I would say, excellent customer service. For example, like they need like a productivity report every day, or if they need sales report, we make sure that we can give them that reports in a timely manner to ensure that they're satisfied to work with us.
I really like what you mentioned there about thinking of them as customers in some ways as well, because you are catering to what they need and sort of aligning that with what Super has as well. I wanted to move into our in the orange corner and talk about, I think, since obviously we're in an Insignia podcast, and the relationship that Insignia has had with Super ever since the beginning with Steven it's been quite the journey, and we're definitely glad to have both of you as part of this journey and joining Super. Maybe you can share for each of you how that relationship has impacted your own roles.
We are very fortunate to have had the privilege of partnering with Insignia and the team as one of our earliest investors. Super has experienced substantial growth over the years, and of course, the success owes much to the continuous support and guidance provided by Insignia. And one of the ways that the firm has helped us is by providing strategic guidance to our growth and profitability initiatives. So when I came in, the profitability initiatives were very new, but the firm's team has extensive knowledge of the industry and market trends and have offered valuable strategic guidance to us, helping us refine the business model, identifying growth opportunities, navigating challenges, and making informed decisions. So overall, I really have been valuable and helpful for us.
Another way that Insignia has been very helpful to us is through their networking and operational support. The team has extensive networks of contacts, including other investors, industry experts, potential customers, potential suppliers, potential partners, and they have facilitated introductions and connections that can open doors for partnership, collaboration, as well as business development opportunities. And this is especially important for me because with the help of Insignia, we are able to meet many potential suppliers or potential principals that we can eventually secure a partnership with. And moreover, Insignia have also assisted us in finding qualified candidates for certain roles at Super, which is very important to be able to have a strong team.
And who knows, maybe future folks who might be joining Super might be listening in and as part of their due diligence of the company before they apply. So to that end, I wanted for you guys to share also for those who are perhaps have an interest in joining Super or have been seeing your posts on social media and are interested in the work that you guys are doing, what would be your message for them, and what has been the most fulfilling aspect of working in Super for yourselves as well?
For everyone who's interested to join Super, please make sure to stay tuned on LinkedIn on the job opportunities and make sure to apply. And for me, myself, I think the most fulfilling part of working at Super is how Super as a company that we actually have this mission to create positive impact in the communities, right? So Super is not only focusing on profit or how we can get as much money as we can, but we're also actually focusing on the positive impact that we can make to the society. As someone who works at Super, this is the most fulfilling things that I know that what I'm working on every day that is actually making positive impacts to people's lives.
Completely agree with Gisella. The opportunity to create positive change at the grassroots level is incredibly rewarding, and we see it in our work like every day, right? And knowing that our work directly improves the livelihoods and well-being of individuals and families in tier 2 to 3 up to rural areas really inspire us to continue pushing boundaries and innovating to make an even greater impact. So if you want to join our mission and vision, please come and apply to Super.
As I mentioned in our last episode as well, I'll leave a link in the description to either if you want to connect with Nadira or Gisella, or you can check out the jobs as well on LinkedIn. We'll leave the link in the podcast description. And I wanted to head into our rapid fire round, which should be familiar to our guests here today, but I changed up the questions since it's your second time around. So first off, what superpower of any one of your C-level colleagues would you want to have? And I guess plus points if you're not answering each other. I don't know what you guys had in mind, but better if it's somebody else who's not here on the show with us.
Actually, for me, it's hard to choose just one,
Okay.
but I think there is one trait that all of the C levels possess, which is that it's truly admirable to see them adeptly digesting information from multiple divisions that they cover and making sound, critical decisions to steer the company in the right direction and foster business growth without burning out. So I think I would really want that superpower in my own
Yeah,
job.
without burning out is the is
Without
the
burning
key
out
there.
is the key.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gisela. Yeah.
For me, I think if I were to adopt one superpower from one of my C-level colleagues, I would choose their talent to easily and effortlessly identify and hire the right talent for the team. I think this skill is often overlooked, but it is actually very crucial in building a strong and capable teams. I would want to have this superpower so that I can speed up the hiring process by always picking the right talent, which might not always be the case in developing a team. So
Mm-mm.
yeah, I think this talent is pretty important
Yeah,
that you can
definitely.
actually, yeah.
Definitely a challenge for sure. If you're be invited to produce a Netflix series, what will be the title of the show? Yeah, it could be about super, it could be about yourselves, like a biopic. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. A big part of my work involves engaging with individuals in tier 2 to 3 cities,
Mm.
ranging from housewives to grassroots entrepreneurs. Therefore, I think it would be really cool to have a docu-series covering their personal experiences and journey. And I would give the title Stories of the Unheard.
Stories of the Unheard,
Mm,
Isala.
this is a very interesting question, but I think give the title Rural Retail Revolution. Yeah, because I think this title suggests a shift in conventional rural commerce practice to a more innovative approach into retailing these areas. And this is actually also aligns with Super, which is a social commerce platforms that build agent networks who sell affordable and stable products in the second and third tier cities and rural areas.
Yeah, you guys can let us know which one you like more in the comments. No, just kidding. But if you do, you can let us
And we'll
know.
actually make it.
Yeah, I can definitely see it as a since you guys have all these, I think like social media video capabilities in house. I can definitely see both of these as something that you guys might work on down the line. Looking back now, what is a
Yep,
skill? It could
yep.
be a soft skill or hard skill that you believe you should have learned back in your time as a student.
I believe that resilience is a crucial skill that I wish I had developed more in college, mostly because it's such an important aspect of being in the tech industry. As I've experienced in these past four
Mm-hmm.
years, yeah, one of the most important skills I learned is to be okay with change and to be comfortable with uncertainty. So I believe that being exposed to this kind of environment and seeing the very fast-paced dynamics would have better prepared me for the role that I'm in.
Yeah. Giselle.
For me, I think if I'm thinking back on my time as student, I think that the important thing that I should learn more is learning to adapt quickly. I think this is very essential trait, especially in the startup industry where changes is constant. Like we always see changes happening every day. Having this trait early on will actually better prepare me to thrive in a dynamic and unpredictable environments, especially in this startup industry. And it will foster resilience and continuous growth for myself as a leader by having this trait early on.
Yeah, again, without burning out, I think is also
Yeah.
important. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I think in a world of AI, Gen AI tools, there's a lot of automation solutions out there. If there's something in your role now that you could automate just by wishing for it, yeah, it doesn't have to be an actual tool. What aspect of your role would that be?
One of the most crucial aspects of running a startup is having clean and reliable data to better
Mm,
understand consumer behavior, right? So if I could automate one process, it would be the data collection process in a business that largely operates in emerging markets or like tier 2 to 3 cities where majority of consumers are non-digitized. So I think I have to do this a lot, the current thing that we're working on right now. And I think that's quite a tedious process. So if we could
mm,
automate that, I think that would be really great.
I strongly agree with Nadira. I think that the collection process is something that's really powerful, and if we can actually automate them, it will be very helpful. But probably to add on that, other thing that I would like to be like, or other thing that I wish can be automated is probably the process of learning and adapting new information, meaning that we can instantly absorb and integrate new knowledge, updates, and developments so that I can continuously stay ahead of the curve.
mm.
Like the
Yeah.
key word here is the instantly. So if we can instantly absorb and integrate new knowledge, that will be very helpful.
Yeah. A co-pilot, Jarvis of
Yeah.
sorts for Gisella. Yeah. That would be great. If you could pick anyone alive or dead to be your 24/7 executive coach, who would it be? And what's one thing that you would want to learn from them?
I would choose Elon Musk. As we all know, he is a very visionary entrepreneur, known for founding and leading several groundbreaking companies such as SpaceX, Tesla, Neuralink. And his achievements in technology and entrepreneurship really inspires me. And I believe that it would give me valuable insights into innovation, leadership, and overcoming challenges, and helping me become a more visionary and resilient leader in the business.
For me, I would choose Sheryl Sandberg, former COO of Meta Platforms. Her experience as a senior executive at one of the world's leading technology, of course, would provide valuable lessons on innovation, entrepreneurship, and driving growth in a rapidly evolving digital landscape.
Yeah, Sheryl Sandberg and Elon Musk. Yeah, to our listeners, let us know who you pick. Or if you have your own answers to our rapid fire round questions, feel free to leave that in the comments. But yeah, on that note, thank you so much, Nadira and Gisella, for coming on back to our show. In part one, you definitely shared a lot of how Super has evolved in terms of its portfolio of brands and private label initiatives over the past year. And we got to learn a little bit more about how Super has also impacted your own leadership journeys in the organization. And once again, open invite to anybody who's interested in this mission that Super is working on to reach out to them on LinkedIn or apply directly to their jobs also on LinkedIn. So yeah, thanks again for coming back on the show. And maybe once the announcement that Nadira has been talking about is made, maybe we can come back and
maybe next time.
Yeah, next time we can come back and talk about how that has gone, and hope to have more super leaders on the show as well. Yeah, thanks, Nadira.
Thank you,
Thank
Paolo.
you so much, Paolo. It was great chatting with you again.